Marvel comic book news, hot off the presses.
Shh! Our operators are napping. Marvel News, Episode 87, Trapped in Tapioca.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. Once again, we are here with Marvel News, episode number 87, and joining me, as always, is...
Stan Lee.
No, you're not.
Excelsior!
Bo Cephas.
Excelsior!
I borrowed his short from episode 86. Oh, jeez. Anyway,
I had feta cheese.
we're coming to you, as always, from Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood.
Beautiful,
Alternate
beautiful.
Reality, where all my new Marvel comics, Marvel
Mom and Dad
comics
makes Marvel
are always 15% off every day for everyone.
It's true.
You know, the Jack Kirby lawsuit is finally wrapped up. It's wrapped up now, right?
It's over.
It's over. It's finished. It's
Well,
over.
they can appeal, but it's going to be relatively pointless.
Wait, don't bury the
I
lead.
said they.
Don't bury the lead. I'm getting to it. The lawsuit is over with. It's over. It's finished. They could appeal, but the winner wound up being the man. The man won another one. What happened?
New York City federal judge Colin McMahon declared that the heirs of the Jack
the
Kirby
man.
estate have no claim whatsoever to the copyrights of the superheroes he co-created for Marvel Comics because it is considered work for hire.
Is that now? That's the '60s stuff. Does that include
That's
Captain
the
America?
60s stuff. Captain America has already been worked out between Joe Simon and he does nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But the testimony of Stan Lee, Joe Sinnott, who's a personal friend of Jack Kirby, and all that stuff, and Jim Steranko apparently sealed the case for Marvel because all three said that Kirby didn't do any work unless he was told to do so by the office, which means you can't say you co-created anything because you didn't co-create nothing. We told you the story, you did the story, you worked for us.
That's a damn shame. Marvel ought to throw Jack's family some money.
I think Marvel would have thrown Jack's family some money if they hadn't sued them. Now
Well-
you're screwed.
Well, Marvel could still throw them some money. If they wanted.
Well,
It wouldn't be terrible publicity if Marvel did that.
if the Kirby family lawyer does not appeal this decision, they may get some money out of it. If they do, they're not getting a dime.
Well, I would roll the dice and not bother appealing then, and throw yourself on the mercy of the company that has no mercy.
I mean, guess what? Stan's getting $1 million a year out of Marvel, so the
Yeah.
Kirby family could get $1 million a year out of Marvel too. And then part of the problem with this lawsuit is he was talking about stuff that he had nothing to do with creation of, like Wolverine.
Well,
You weren't even around then.
that's kind of stupid. That was kind of stupid, that part.
And his witnesses were Mark Evanier and a guy who works for the Kirby Collector.
Well, Mark Evanier is a big-time Kirby guy going all the way back. When Jack was still alive, Mark Evanier was real tight with Jack, and he was his biggest cheerleader. And Evanier, I think, I could be wrong, but I think Evanier does the Jack Kirby Collector too.
Oh, he works on that thing. The problem with Evan's testimony is the fact that this is all going on when he was 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah.
And Marvel's lawyer basically ripped him apart. He said, "You were a kid. You don't remember any of this stuff.
Well,
You were a kid.
I don't know about that.
So you don't know anything about business stuff because you were a kid."
One of Jack Kirby's concepts, which apparently he has absolutely no rights to, but one of Jack Kirby's
Well, it'll
concepts.
still say it's created by Stan Lee. He'll still get a co-credit on the comics, but I don't think there's any money
Well,
involved.
there are properties.
Well, that's
that
at least a decent thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, beyond Marvel, there's properties he created that are his.
Well, yeah, DC has always tried to do right by Kirby with the Fourth World stuff.
Yeah.
And OMAC. It's a reason why at DC you keep seeing the Fourth World coming back, and Darkseid, and OMAC, and Commandy, and even stuff like Atlas at Superman about 2
So
years ago.
can't the Kirby
This stuff
family
keeps
just-
coming back.
Can't they just be happy with claims to that?
Well, there's
that-
no ongoing New God book. The Almanac book that's coming
Yeah,
out of
but
the New
you've got
52 is not
properties you
going to
can
sell.
work with. That's up to you if those are yours.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing with that. When he went over and created all the stuff, he was work for hire then as well.
Well, but the problem with that is it's like if you created all the Looney Tunes characters, but the only ones that you can get any money out of are Pee-Pee Le Pew and maybe Tweety, and that's
Well,
it. Not Bugs, not Daffy, not any of the rest of them.
Not the big
Right,
boy.
You know, just two little minor ones that you did off to the side later in your career.
Well, but if I'm not going to get justice for the big ones, I'd take what I got left over. From the
Well, I'm sure they're probably getting something out of
But
it.
those creators are always getting screwed. Those like the Motown guys. The first Motown guys, you were all singing for hire.
Yeah,
You made them
yeah.
hits, but
Yeah,
you know,
you
what
were
can I tell
getting hits, but guess what? I was the
we own
guy.
copyright,
I
we
was the
own
guy who
the-
hired you. I was the guy who brought it in here. I was the guy who
We
wrote the
put the
songs.
music
You
together.
performed them, so therefore
It's
we
the
own
same.
everything.
That's the same formula.
For any DC fans, give me crap. I love Darkseid. I love the Fourth World stuff. I love OMAC. I love all that stuff. I'm not dissing it.
OMAC,
OMAC. O-M-A-C.
OMAC.
One Man
You
Army Corps.
You love OMAC.
OMAC's a fine concept. It was a fine concept. One Man Army Corps. It was basically a
not
reworking of
equating
Superman.
them.
It was a reworking of Superman and Captain Marvel together, sort of, kind of. But I've got no problem with that stuff. That's all fine stuff. Kirby was an idea man. The execution was a little bit shaky, but the ideas were solid. The ideas were solid as a rock. It's too bad DC has never figured out a way to take those and run with them. But they are in no way on the same level as Hulk, as the Fantastic Four,
Captain
as
America.
Captain America. No, Captain goes
Thor.
back to the
Yeah,
early
40s,
40s.
right.
But yeah, all that stuff that Inhumans, Black Panther, all that stuff that Jack co-created. Anyway, moving on. As I was saying, one of the characters that Jack created was the Incredible Hulk, and the Incredible Hulk's being canceled. Oh my God, what are we going to do? The Hulk's been canceled.
Well, Greg Pak's leaving the book at the end of the Heart of the Monster arc. The book will be relaunched in October with #1 with a new team of Jason Aaron and Mark Silvestri.
Thank God
Yes.
they're relaunching it.
Yes, he works for Top Cow. Yes, he owns Top Cow, but he's drawing for Marvel because they pay more money.
So when does Marvel buy Top Cow?
I don't know. It's coming. But
That's how Marvel exclusive works.
What does Mark
They're
Celeste go? Why can't I be Jim Lee and sell my company to a bigger company and get all sorts of money?
it could happen. Now, in this new series, it'll be a little different. Bruce Banner and the Hulk, for some reason, have been separated, so they're not the same person anymore, and their roles have been reversed, where the Hulk is sort of around doing what he wants to do, and Bruce Banner's after him, and they try to avoid each other, but they always end up being back together. And they said it's supposed to be a lot of big monster fighting in this thing.
Oh, good. Hulk's always bad his best when he's fighting big monsters.
He's fighting big
Oh no,
monsters.
Bruce Banner's
In
gonna
fact, the cover for Incredible Hulk #1, you see Hulk standing there with all these veins, and his arms are covered with blood. So
Yeah, well, yeah.
it's not pretty.
Remember when they canceled Fantastic Four and they changed it to FF because it's the Freedom Foundation now and not Fantastic Four anymore? Well, guess what? The 600th issue of Fantastic Four is coming up, so guess what Marvel's going to do?
You're going to get 2 books. You're going to get Fantastic Four 600 from Jonathan Hickman and Steve Epting, which is going to be like a quadruple size issue. It's going to be huge. It's going to have art from Little Francis Wu and Carmen Domenico and a couple other folks. But Freedom FF will continue with artist Juan Bobillo. So Hickman's writing 2 Fantastic Four books for a Fantastic Four book, and I think FF is turning into a book that's going to focus more on the kids that are hanging around and learning to be part
The
of the
Freedom Foundation.
Right, so it'll be the Freedom Foundation.
Freedom Foundation. So you'll have 2 FF books.
Right, and you'll have Johnny Storm,
a subsidiary.
or
of
someone
Nike.
who looks like Johnny
Oh,
Storm.
really? Coming back from the dead
Well,
already?
it's a character who's burning, who looks like who's the Human Torch, but they haven't said whether
Jim
Johnny
Hammond?
Storm.
The matchstick.
It could be Jim.
Jim
Hammond.
Hammond?
I don't know because actually the team Fantastic Four has 5 members because Spider-Man's still hanging out with us.
Sulfur Boy.
I was saying that when they said they're going to kill the Human Torch. It's just a matter of time before the android takes his place.
Well,
He's
actually-
the Human Torch.
And actually, in 600, you're going to get an extra. You're going to get a story. One of the stories involved in that will give you a longer take on Johnny Storm's death, which was smaller. It's going to tell you exactly what Johnny went. So apparently, he's going to go out as a real badass.
Supernova, baby.
Marvel, beginning of this year, the end of last year, they introduced the Point One comics, the Point One initiative, and so you have books that are 6.1 and 212.1 and whatever. And those books,
16.1 and stuff like that.
16.1, those books were intended to be sort of jumping on points. If you haven't been reading the series,
Walk in on this
if
book,
if
and you can start fresh, and you don't have
Yeah.
to remember anything.
it says Point One, that's where you step in at. What's up with the Point One books?
In November, you're going to see a 64-page one-shot, which will be called Point One. That'll set up many of the Marvel stories for 2012. It'll also hint and more or less kind of set up the big Marvel event of 2012, which Marvel's not talking about
20
right
when?
now. 2012.
Oh,
It's coming very soon, though. 2012 is closer than you think.
yes, it is. 2012 isn't though.
Because it's August. It's coming.
August 2012. I
He's
can't
afraid
wait.
because it's the last. It's the last year we're living.
So last year, we're all going to go. Yes, the Mayans said
The
we're all
Mayans
gonna
are
be
coming
dead by
back
Yeah,
to kill
we
us
run
all.
out of calendar.
then. We're all going to die.
So are you done with Point Ones?
Yes, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were done.
I'm done.
Heroes for Hire! Heroes for Hire, the book that they keep bringing back and nobody buys, is going to get a name change that you will then buy. You will run out and buy that book.
Heroes for Hire in November will turn into Villains for Hire. The title will continue to be written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, but it will be drawn by Renato Arlem. The plan is for this to run at least 6 issues, and the conclusion will set up the future of the book. But there'll be a reason why.
When they change the book to Heroines for Hire, let me know, because that's when the sales will jump on that
Could be
book.
next.
Who's for hire?
That could be next.
Yeah, so Black Widow, how much?
Heroines for Hire.
What do you got?
How much for what? Well, what do you got?
Super Hooker.
Okay, Sailor.
Hey, there you go, Super Hookers. That's a great idea.
Been done.
Marvel graphic novels. Marvel is going to publish a line of graphic novels under the banner of
Season 1.
Season 1.
The first
Marvel
ones-
talked about this back at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, well, they always had a point of they didn't want to do any original graphic novels, but the people at Disney went, we can make these and we can put them in Amazon and a whole bunch of other places, so that if you're walking in and you don't know anything about the characters, you can pick up these graphic novels. Now,
Sort of like a .1 comic.
Sort of like a .1
Yeah,
comic.
kind of hard to shop through Amazon.
Now,
though.
well, you can go. But
if there was bookstores left, maybe.
if
but-
there were bookstores left, yeah, and Barnes and Noble's still around too.
Oh, good.
But the first ones will be
One
Fantastic
bookstore.
Four Season 1, X-Men Season 1, Daredevil Season 1, and Spider-Man Season 1. These books will be written by people who already work in comics, but they'll be drawn by people who are new, so this will serve to introduce fans to new talent. And at the same time go, well, I didn't know anything about Daredevil. Why don't I pick up this, this graphic novel thing and figure out what's going on?
Separate from continuity.
Separate from continuity. Basically, it's like
Standalone stuff.
Standalone stuff. Walking off the street and go, hey, I found out what's going on.
Okay. And our final story. Remember 2 years ago?
No, I think
3
it's
years
a year-
ago?
I think it's a year and a half.
That
Well, I
no,
think
it's
no,
longer
no,
than that.
no,
It's
no,
longer
yeah,
than-
yeah,
it's longer.
yeah,
14
because
14
Straczynski
months,
started
2
working
Wait,
for J. Michael Straczynski.
wait. Marvel did a series based on C-level characters that are part of the Marvel universe,
Right.
that are
Stuff that they
intellectual
own.
properties that Marvel owns, but C-level characters from the Golden Age that nobody gives a rat's ass about on
Except
any
for one
level-
guy.
on any level whatsoever. And you know what? It was a great little book. It was a crackerjack little book, every damn issue of it, until it fell completely off the rails. Scheduling wise.
Scheduling wise.
Scheduling wise.
What's
What's up with the 12?
Well, J. Michael Straczynski and Chris Weston. Well, Straczynski was working on the stuff over at DC.
Yeah.
Weston's been working on movies, so he didn't have time to do it. But Weston got a package. He got a package from J. Michael Straczynski. It's the scripts for
Finish
issues.
this up.
It's the scripts for issues 9, 10, 11, and 12. And so he is drawing them right now, and you will get the conclusion of the 12 beginning in February.
Good. That was actually a really, really, really good series. And the characters were like lousy characters. But you know what? Marvel has Golden Age characters just like DC has Golden Age characters. And what we talked about way back, if you want to go way, way, way back into the Marvel news, I talked about how Marvel's characters can be made into something just like DC's Golden Age characters have been made into something. DC has successfully exploited their Golden Age characters now for the last 30, 40 years.
Correct.
People love the JSA, even though they're disappearing in the New 52.
Well,
But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother news.
Right.
And that's it. We're done with Finish Her Out of here. We have got no more Marvel news, but you can go to the store's website and check out all the Marvel news that this man right here sends me to post up. And where's the store's website at? It's right there.
www.myalternatereality.com. I've never actually been there.
So stop off at the store's website, check out all his news, and until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
this is still Stan Lee.
See, I'm wearing his shirt. Bye!
Enough said.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.